Hello everyone and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name's Amanda and in today's video I have a very exciting new launch to share with you all, as today launches the Kiki London Cat's Eye Gel Polish collection. Now I know you guys have been asking for this, so I'm sure you are gonna love these colours. Now we're starting off the Cat's Eye Gel Polish with 4 colours, but I am sure there will be more to come. So as you can see, they come in the 15ml size bottles, and the bottles have all of that important information printed on the back of them. You have got a directions blurb as well, which talks through how to apply them if you are new to Cat's Eye Gel. But of course, in today's video, I am going to talk through how to use them as well as swatching them. And then I do have a more tutorial style video coming up on the channel using them on Friday. So let's take a look at the first color. This is the beautiful Red Frost. Now Red Frost has a really nice bright red base with a shimmer effect to it. It is absolutely stunning alone. That is without the magnetic cat's eye effect. It's beautiful, but it looks even more magical when you play around with the magnet to get the cat's eye effect. Next up we have Cherry Spark. Now Cherry Spark is more of a darker red, and the glitter shimmer effect in this one I'd say is more on the gold / holographic side compared to the silver side of Red Frost. So it's another really beautiful shade whether you were using it alone or with the magnetic effect. Absolutely love this one. Now the next 2 shades I find are quite unique for a Cat's Eye Gel Polish. I really loved how these come out when we were playing around with the magnet. So first of all we have Liquid Gold, which gives off creamy champagne vibes. I absolutely love this one. This is my personal fave in the collection. And then lastly we have Silver Dream, where in the bottle this one, it's really hard to choose whether it's a silver or a mauve. It gives off that really metallic silver look, but with a hint of a purpley mauve coming through. So again, this one was really unique because it looks so different in different lights. I absolutely loved them. Do let me know in the comments below which is your favorite of the 4. And then of course for the Cat's Eye magnetic effect you are going to need the magnet as well, so one of these will be provided. And then today we're going to be using the swatch file to swatch these. I'm going to swatch these over the white bases of the tips, and then further along in the video I'm going to swatch them over some black gel polish as well, because they are really versatile and they can all be used over any colour shade. So we will talk a bit more about that further along in the video. Starting off, if you purchase the Kiki London swatch file, you do get this tip stand with it, the tips and the panels that go in the swatch file. So it's a brilliant way for either swatching colours or even creating nail art designs for inspiration for clients. So I've popped 4 tips onto my stand, and then we're going to go in and start swatching these shades. So I'm going to start off with the one that I think blew my mind the most, just because it was a lot different to any Cat's Eye Gel Polish I've personally seen before. So that was the Liquid Gold. Now with the Cat's Eye Gel Polishes, you are going to do all of your prep and apply your base coat as normal, and then you're going to come in and apply 1 coat of your Cat's Eye Gel Polish and cure this. And then on the second coat, that's when you play around with your magnet to create that cat's eye effect. So you don't create that on the first coat. So this is what 1 coat of Liquid Gold looks like. As I mentioned, it gives off champagne vibes to me. I think the name suits it perfectly. And it's quite opaque in 1 coat as well, which is nice. And then we're going to come in and do Silver Dream. I could not choose with this colour whether it looked silver or mauve. It's such a fun shade because in certain lights you really see this mauve undertone coming through, and then in another light you really see the silver. It is such a stunning shade. I really love how these 2 colours look even without the magnetic effect, because I just feel as though they've already got a really nice fun base to them. So I really love these 2. I think Liquid Gold with the cat's eye effect will make a brilliant base for nail art as well. Then we're going to come in with Red Frost. I love the name of this one because it's got that beautiful bright red base to it, but the subtle sparkle of the glitters really gives off that twinkling snow frosty look. So I felt as though the name suited this one brilliantly. I can see this colour being really popular over Christmas, and going into Valentine's Day I could see this being quite popular as well. And then we have a Cherry Spark. So as I mentioned, this one is a little bit darker than Red Frost, and it's got a slightly different effect in the glitter to it. I feel as though Red Frost has more of a silver sparkle coming through, where with this one it's got a hint of gold sparkle and a little bit of hollow to it as well. Now for the first coat of all of these, as you can see, I've applied them quite thin. As always, I like to go in with all my gel polish shades and apply a thin coat because they are all highly pigmented, very opaque, so you don't need to be applying thick bulky layers of your gel polish. So we've applied one thin first coat of colour. Now of course, if you was doing this on yourself or a client, you would do all your prep and base coat to begin with, but we're just working on the tips, so we've gone straight in with our colour coat. Now for the fun part. So we're going to come in and add our second coat of liquid gold, and again keeping this nice and thin. You don't have to apply this any thicker than you would your regular gel polish, so I'm just taking a small amount on my brush, and then if I need any more I'm going to go in and add a little bit more. These do have quite a thin consistency to them as well, so it makes it really easy to apply them and get a nice neat coverage. I was just wiping over the nail to make sure that the application of the gel polish was nice and even. And then as you can see, to begin with I just run the magnet over the top of the nail because I couldn't quite work out what pattern I should go for, and I kind of wanted all my swatches to look similar, and then I thought I would go in and try and create like a swirl effect. So as you can see, by holding the magnet close to the gel polish, it pushes and moves those magnetic particles around, and you can create really fun, unique nail art. Now let's say you play around with it and you don't like your design, you want to start again. All you need to do is take your bottle brush, clean off the gel polish so you're not adding any more gel polish to the nail, and then run over it. And then this is basically going to reset those magnetic particles, and it's going to go back to how you applied it before. So let's just say you go in with your magnet and you don't like the design, you can easily do that. Then I'm just going to go in and try and create a simple kind of like a swirly swoosh going down the nail so that I could display the two different coloured effects that come through from the gel polish. So I just held the magnet, and you've got to kind of imagine that the magnetic particles are going to pull away from where you're placing the magnet. So if I'm holding it here, you can see they're pushing up, and then you're putting those kind of swirl effects into the nail. And then once you are happy with this, you want to pop it in to cure for 30 seconds. That's going to freeze everything in place so that nothing is going to move around. You're going to keep that magnetic effect. So if I was doing this on a client, you just want to be careful that if you do one nail, when you're working on the second or third nail, you're not getting that magnet too close to the one before, or you could go in and flash cure, especially if you were creating quite intricate designs with your magnet. So we're going to come in again and add our second coat of Silver Dream, keeping it nice and even. I'm trying to apply this nice and thin, but I also wanted to make sure that my application wasn't streaky. So that's why I'm just going over the nail a few times just to pull off any excess gel polish and make sure I've got a nice even application. And then once again, we're going to do that same effect. I'm trying to create like this swoosh going across the nail. And I love how fun this was to play around with. Before I did the swatch video, I was just sitting there with a swatch stick playing around, creating different designs with the magnet, because it's been a really long time since I've played around with anything cat's eye. So I'm so glad that we now have these available. So here you can see I'm just perfecting that, and I really love the silver effect that comes through when you start playing around with the magnet on this one, because it's so unique how you've got that mauvey metallic look and then boom, you've got silver coming through. I thought it was super fun. So we've popped that one in to cure, and then this is what both Liquid Gold and Silver Dream look like. Really loving those two. Like I said, I've personally found them really unique because a lot of the cat's eye gel polishes usually have this more glittery, shimmery base, so it was really fun to see a more metallic look. Now on to Red Frost, I'm going to come in and apply my second coat of colour. Again, keeping this nice and thin, just going over the nail to even everything out. If you was doing this on your client or yourself, or basically if you was doing this on a real nail, I would still recommend coming in and very gently capping the free edge of the nail like you would do if you was applying a regular gel polish colour. So everything application wise, I would keep the same as though you was working with a regular gel polish. The only difference is you're able to play around and create that cool magnetic effect. So the magnetic effect in this one, depending on how you play around with it, is a little bit more subtle. The magnetic effect looks it pulls the glitters that are in this gel polish around, so it leaves that base that's left behind a little less sparkly than the magnetic swoosh you've created, so that cat's eye effect. So I really liked this one. I think this would look really fun to do in nail art as well, so things like cat's eye French would look really cool with this one, I think. So then again, we pop that in to cure for 30 seconds, and I just love how the sparkles in this one catches the light after you've created that magnetic effect. These two colors especially I really did like over a black base for a more darker look as well, and that's what's really fun about these cat's eye gel polishes. You can use them over any color. You don't even need to apply a color underneath. You can go in with your regular base coat, so whether you use a clear base coat or whether you use a rubber base coat which might have a nude or a pink or even a milky look to it, you can use any of those underneath and then just do your cat's eye gel polish on top. But if you want to create a different effect, or if you're playing around with nail art especially, I would definitely give these a go using a darker shade underneath. I can't wait to play around and try these with different effects. I know that one of the ambassadors has played around with these and then having the reflective top coat over the top, and she said that was a magical effect as well. So that's something I really can't wait to try as well. So this is what all 4 of the swatches look like once we've done that magnetic effect and cured them. And then of course you do need to come in and top coat as normal. So I'm going to take my crystal top coat and top coat all of these, and then we're going to move on to swatching these over some black gel polish so that I could compare the difference between having a light base underneath and a darker base. So I'm just going to come in and apply my crystal top coat as normal, just floating this over, covering the entire tip and trying to cap that free edge as well. And then we're going to pop this in to cure. I really love the crystal top coat because it gives such a beautiful high shine finish, but it gives quite a nice protective layer, I find, on the natural nails as well. So if you haven't tried this one, because it is the latest top coat in the Kiki collection, I would highly recommend checking it out. Like, look at the shine it has added to those. Just when you think they couldn't get any more shiny, they go and do that. So then after we had cured the top coat, I'm gonna pop this in I'm gonna take the tips off my tip stand and pop them onto the panel. And then this way we can take a closer look at those swatches, and then you can easily stick this panel into your swatch file so that you've got a great way to store your new swatches. So I absolutely loved how these turned out. If you haven't already popped a comment below telling me which one was your favourite, then please do so now, and let me know if you plan on purchasing any of these or the full collection. So next up, off camera, I have done 2 coats of Kiki London's Classic Black over some swatch sticks, and then we're going to go in and swatch these over black. Now the only difference I did is I decided not to do 2 coats. So when we were doing them over the white, I did 1 coat of colour and then 1 coat of, I did 1 coat of the cat's eye and then cured that, and then did a 2nd coat of the cat's eye, and that's the layer we created our magnetic effect in. When I was swatching them over the black, I didn't do that because I wanted to still be able to see some of that black coming through. So again, they're quite versatile, so you can play around and create different looks, but I really liked how it looked having that black coming through. Or if you was doing this over a red, for example, this would work really well as well, because by just having the magnetic effect over your chosen color, you're seeing that color and then getting the magnetic effect. So again, play around with it and find out what ways to create different designs that work for you or the design that you're trying to create. Of course, over the black, you could still do that same technique that I did over the white of 2 colors. It would just bring up the color of the cat's eye a little bit more and not show so much of the black through the design. But I thought, like I said, I thought it was quite cool seeing that black coming through. And I did really love how Red Frost looked over the black base. I just thought it looked really fun. And the same here with Berry Glitz as well. You can see that you're still able to see some of that dark shade coming through underneath. And then we're playing around with our magnet in that uncured cat's eye gel, creating that fun effect. And it just looks really unique. I really love how these have turned out. I think you're all going to love them as much as me as well. So we're going to, once we've done our cat's eye effect, you still need to pop that in secure for 30 seconds, and that's going to freeze that in place. And then I'm going to top coat all of these together at the end. So next up, liquid gold. This one I do think will be quite unique depending on how you use it. So again, on this one, I'm going to do one coat over classic black and then create our cat's eye effect. This one I definitely want to try doing 2 coats and see how much it changes the effect. But I really liked how this turned out, and I think this could work really fun in a tortoiseshell nail art design, because I was really shocked how different it looked when I come in with the cat's eye gel. And when I compared this against over the white base as well, it looked so different. So here I'm coming in, I'm trying to just get my application nice and neat, but I did have a little bit of fluff that I had to get it out. But as you can see, when we come in with that magnet, it kind of creates a brown effect over the black. You will see it a bit further along when I top coat and cure them. I did have to do the cat's eye effect off camera for this one. Well, I did do it on camera, but for some reason my footage was really out of focus. But I did the exact same effect with Silver Dream, and I noticed it really took away the mauve effect, and you just see a lot more of the silver coming through. But here you can see that liquid gold up close a bit more. And yeah, it creates this really fun, kind of like a tortoiseshell brown look to it with the liquid gold. So I was really torn whether I preferred these over a light base or a dark base. It looked like I'd used completely different gel polishes. So that was really fun, because obviously it feels like you're doubling the amount of colors that you've got in your collection. And of course it's great so that you can offer a different variety, like a big variety to clients depending on the look. But the liquid gold especially, and the Silver Dream, I just thought they looked completely different over dark and light bases, which was it was just a really fun experience. I love playing around with nail art, especially with gel polish. It's one of my absolute favorite things. So I cannot wait to play around with these a little bit more and create some more videos for you. Now, if you do have any questions relating to how to apply the cat's eye or anything at all, pop them in the comments below and I will be happy to help. I'll either respond in the comments or I'll help you in a video. So do pop a comment below if you are struggling or wondering how to use them. So here I did come in and just top coat these again with the crystal top coat, and you can see the difference. And I'm going to hold up the white ones against the black ones as well, so you can see how different they look like that as well. Now, another thing is these are our first 4 initial shades. If these do well, I'm sure there will be more coming. So if there is any color requests, maybe pop those in the comments below and we will see what we can do. These are all live on the website as of now, which is always linked in the description box below. So I really hope you all love the new cat's eye collection as much as I do. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment below and hit that subscription button if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.